I'm so glad you're here, and I am so excited that I am almost breathless. It is a Saturday, and I actually have not made a piece of jewelry yet today, and it's after lunch. I'm really like slacking in my old age, but I got my bargain bead box in the mail for the month, and it is called the Floral Fantasy Collection. I am so excited. I have several favorites in this box. As you can see, it's amazing. It's so jam-packed I can hardly fit everything on my mat and under the camera lens. And so what I say about this box is I really don't know how a jewelry maker or even a crafter can live without this box for the price. So I will put my link in the description box with my discount code if you're interested. But I'm going to do like the world's fastest unboxing because I am beyond excited about a project, and I'm going to unbox really quickly and do the project. So let's jump right in and not waste any time. This is absolutely breathtaking. This is a lapis lazuli faceted teardrop pendant, and it has this little articulated charm that kind of rides over the top of the pendant. It's absolutely wonderful, and it's so weighty, just wonderful. I'm thinking I have a silver chain in my jewelry box, and I'm thinking that I already have my first piece of jewelry. Just slide my chain through and be done and have a beautiful necklace. This is one of my favorite things in the box, and I'm actually going to just set this aside because after I show it to you, because this is going to go into my project. This is an 8mm crackle agate. It is dyed and heated and faceted. I love when it's dyed and heated because then over time the rich color in the bead doesn't fade. And this is faceted, but it's smooth. It's cool to the touch because it's a gemstone. Beautiful weight to it. I'm just like totally in love with this. I don't really want to put it down, but you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take another little dish, and I'm just going to put in the dish the things that I absolutely know are going into my first project. Up next is a 6mm lapis lazuli bead, and this is so cool because it's a round bead, and we got 15 inches, but I'm sorry, I am so excited I literally cannot talk. It's a round bead. Of course it's a round bead. It's a matte finish. So, I don't often see lapis lazuli in this matte finish. So I really love that. And that feels, because it's matte, that has almost a satiny finish to it. I love that. And then here's another thing that I wish we had Feel-O-Vision, because this weighs a ton and the facets are beautiful. This is an 8mm lab created hematite, and it's in a metallic blue. So like it actually looks like a metal bead, but when you pick it up, actually it has the weight of a metal bead. I mean, this is so fabulous. You could literally just do like a stretch bracelet or something with this, and just the bead does all the work on that. So I really love that. And then one of my favorites, I have a few, but one of my favorite things in this box, let me get a head pin here, is this beautiful quartz bead. It's electroplated and it's a nugget bead, so no two are alike. It's very organic and free form, and it has the most amazing glistening flashes and sparkle. It's just gorgeous. And if you've been around my channel, you know that I'm working on 2025 very avant-garde pearl pieces for a series called Pearls Reimagined, and I love nugget beads to go with like the Baroque pearls and the stick pearls and the freshwater pearls that are all misshapen. So I'm actually inspired to do like a pearl and purple piece. I don't know what it will be, but I'm thinking bracelet. That's not what I'm going to do at the end of this unboxing, but what I have here are the 3 pieces. I have, let me empty my hand. These are the 3 pieces that are going to go into my project. So I'm going to put those in the dish over here. And then we got these in a different colorway in a bargain bead box over the winter. These are little faceted crystal triangle beads, and the color is called Slate Blue Iris, and they are amazing. In my other project that I use them in, the sparkle from this little triangle bead is amazing. And I did a fringe bracelet with those. If you didn't see it, I can even link it in the description box below because it was quite perfect for that. But I'm going to take that away because that's also going into my project. That's going to go over here. And then if you've been around and like heard me chat, I have a love affair with lamp work beads, and it's one of the things that they do in Italy so well on the island of Murano. And I've been there and I've purchased beads. I've watched so many glass blowing demonstrations and visited all the museums, and I think it's incredible that we got a lampwork glass bead. It's a flecked oval, so it just has like the most amazing look, like deep inside the bead. It's one of the things that I love about lampwork bead. They're handmade, and it's called Azure Skies. Azzurro in Italian is how we would say it, but I absolutely love this. Again, you could just use this bead and make a piece of jewelry, maybe even turn it into a bracelet bar. That's not going into my project, but I'm absolutely in love with it. And this is another favorite of mine. These are gorgeous, and a couple of these I think are going in my project. You know, I actually never know, but I designed this in my head what I want to make before I even had the beads. So these are glass tulip beads in violet blue. We got 10 pieces, but what I love about these is that they're kind of like a bell shaped, which tulips typically are, but it's the dimension of it. Can you see? It's almost like flat this way instead of being like a round bell. They are just absolutely gorgeous and detailed, and I love that you see the blue and the purple in this bead. So I am going to steal those and put those in my little dish too because I think that's going to be in my project. And then look at these, you guys. I have to get my fingers out of the way because they're so small. This is a glass rhinestone flower drop. It's kind of the shape of a marguerite, but the little hole is at the top of one petal, and it's faceted all the way around on both sides, and I just think it's stunning. I am not sure, as I'm holding it in my hand, I'm thinking that it would be the sweetest little addition to a pair of earrings, but I also think I might want it for my project. I need 6 beautiful little drops for what I want to make. So I'm going to take those away because they are a possibility for my project. And then I love these. I just adore these. This is a crystal faceted oval bead, and it's in peacock blue. And because of the way it's faceted, you have some matte sections and some really shiny, shimmery sections. So as this turns around, you just get this amazing look. I mean, that is just a really stunning bead. I totally love that. And we also got some 4mm crystal bicones, which are lovely to have. This is in a light sapphire with the AB coating. And then this is another favorite, absolutely going into my dish. If you wanted to do like just simple small earrings, you could. But these are embossed cut glass crystal teardrops, and it's in a Bermuda blue. I don't know if the camera is rendering what I see with the human eye, but there's like a starburst inside. It comes from the cut or the etching that's on the back, but they are just gorgeous, and I'm putting those also in my little project dish. We got 2 beautiful butterfly charms that are enameled. They're so beautiful. They almost look like they were a photograph of a butterfly and then applied to the charm. They are wonderful. And then there's these laser cut filigree pendants. It's brass, and you know, it's very thin. Like, I don't know if you can see, but I can't even bend it with my fingers. So as thin and delicate and almost ethereal as it is, it's quite sturdy. You could really do a lot with that. I mean, that could also be a bracelet bar. There are so many focals in this box, and I was torn when I saw these because these are the same thing. There are 4 pieces of this brass filigree floral link, and these are actually links. These have a hole on each side of the disc. And I was a little bit torn if I wanted to put these in my project, but I think I probably won't, but I do love them. They're pretty amazing. And again, really sturdy for being so ethereal and fine. And then I'm also dying over this. This is so beautiful. You could literally float a 6 or 8 millimeter bead in here, run your stringing material, whether it be wire or bead stringing material, or even Brazilian waxed cord, you know, you could, or Eslan, just run it through the hole, through the bead, out through the hole, do a little creative knot. And I mean, I actually might do that, but this is one of the most beautiful pendants. I just love it. It's called a floral pendant. It's just beautiful. It's, I don't want to put it down either. I would love to have more of these, and I really would love this in gold and in copper as well as the silver. Then there is these beautiful little lotus charms. We got a lot of these. How many? We got 10 grams, so it's not a count, but aren't these gorgeous? And these are two-sided. I love two-sided charms. When I actually go purchasing charms and beads, that's something that I look for, because I'm a little bit of a perfectionist with my jewelry, and when I use a charm like on bracelets or anything, I like it to be beautiful on all sides, no matter which way it turns. And then you guys, I think this is the prettiest bead cap I've ever seen. This is so gorgeous. We got 10 pieces of this bead cap, and this is another floral item. It looks like a tulip flower, but it's like filigree in between each of the petals of the flower. It's absolutely stunning. That is beautiful. I don't think I'm going to be using that in my project, but you know, designs are subject to change. They are unfolding in the moment. And then we got a bunch of these little rose flowers, spacer beads. I do pick up one with a blocked hole. That's my special talent when the camera's rolling, to pick up a bead that there is no hole. I don't know how I do that. Every video, just about. Look, another one. Two this time. My goodness. Let me get one of these on this wire. Seriously. Do you see there's stuff in the hole? What in the world? Yeah, that's 3, no hole. Okay, I got one. I got one that I can show you that actually does not have a blocked hole. Look at that. It's really pretty, and also two-sided. So if you make charms out of these, or little dangles, it's beautiful on both sides. And then this is absolutely wonderful. I know the founder of Bargain Bead Box, Lauren Fenty, is a big fan of this. She expressed how much she loved this, and I do too. This is a brass toggle set, and it is platinum plated, and again, it's something I wish you could hold in your hands and feel. It's got a little floral motif on the T-bar and on the round part, but the quality of this, the weight of this, the whole thing from the beginning is just gorgeous. I am making a necklace today, and I would never put this on a necklace like at the back of my neck. This is something I would want on my arm so that I could see it. So this is not going in my project dish. And then the last thing is this gorgeous Figaro chain. Figaro chain kind of looks like a large and small curb chain connected together. It's wonderful. You can use it as extender chain. Of course, it's beautiful just as a chain. And like I said, if you need like a really fast piece of jewelry, there's so much you could do. I mean, this could even string right through the bail of this gorgeous pendant. I believe it fits. Yes, it fits. I mean, you could put a clasp on this and you have an instant necklace that's absolutely stunning. So we got 1 meter of this, and it is stainless steel. So I love that. This is absolutely gorgeous. I am going to clean up my mess. This is my little collection for my project, so I will set that there. It will just be a second for you, and let's make a necklace. Okay, I am ready to go. I've cut open all my strands, and what I have in this little dish are crimp beads. I'm going to be just doing a flat crimp bead throughout this whole project, so it's super easy. I think this is going to be stunning, and I also think it's going to be super fun, and I'm really excited. Like I said, I'm almost breathless. So what I have here is the coolest stringing material. I absolutely love this. I'm going to try to show you. This is so fluid and malleable, it almost doesn't feel like there could possibly be 49 strands of cable inside this coating, but this is the Pro EconoFlex from Softflex Company, 49 strand, and it is a stainless steel nylon coated cable, but it feels almost like fabric. I have this beautiful gold color, and so I have switched my metals from the silver that was in the box to gold because I really wanted to use this stringing material. So I have a length here that is around 20 inches long. I didn't really measure, I just put it around my neck. And I'm just going to pause here and say that I also considered the Extreme Flex in this silver color. It's the same thing because it would be really pretty, but I love gold, and I think I'm really going to want to keep this necklace for myself. And also the 49 strand purple amethyst color would also be really beautiful with the beads in this box if you don't have the EconoFlex. But I'm going to go with this. So I have one piece here that's going to be for the body of my necklace that's about 20 inches long, and then I have 3 other pieces here. One is a little bit longer than the other 2. So I have one longer and 2 shorter pieces, and I honestly didn't measure these, maybe 14 inches and 12 inches or 10 inches. They may get trimmed once they go into the design, but I'm just going to set those up there because we're not ready for those yet. I'm going to start, I sorted through all of the electroplated quartz beads. I'm just totally in love with the organic shape of them. This is going to be my center, my focal bead. So I'm going to go ahead and put that on, and I can let it drop down to the middle of my cord, and I'll be stringing from both sides then. If you wanted to go ahead and crimp off one end and just string from one side, you could, but I think this is going to be a lot better if I can work from both sides. And I only have one bead on, and I don't know if you can tell how fluid. Can you see this bead stringing material is so amazing. Like I said, it almost feels like it could be some kind of a cord, a cotton cord or something, because it's that soft and fluid. Like, I don't know how to show you through the camera lens how much I love this bead stringing wire, but I do, I really do. And then I have these little hematite plated spacers that are just left over from a box. So I'm going to do one of those, and then I'm going to do one of my little triangle beads, and then I am going to thread on a crimp bead. So I was sitting here thinking, what can I name this design? And I think it's going to be called a floral illusion necklace. Sometimes we call these floating necklaces because the beads are going to a little bit look like they're floating. And I also thought about doing this on a clear wire as well, but I don't have any because that would really make the beads look like they're floating. So what I'm going to do is just make sure that I want to have an equal amount on both sides. So I'm talking away because I'm so excited. I'm just going to drop this down because this is going to be my very middle. So right about there, and I'm going to get a hold of my crimp bead and just flat crimp. Just flat crimp it. So now on this side, everything is stable, and I'm going to take another one and do the exact same thing on the other side. I have a couple different sizes of crimp beads in here because I kind of consolidated them all, so I'm going to try to select the same ones. It's very small, it doesn't so much matter, but whoops, I forgot my beads. I tell you, I am really excited about this design. I had this in my head, and when I got these electroplated quartz beads, I was like, oh my goodness, it's perfect for what I want to make. Absolutely gorgeous. I'm just going to let gravity help me now and get my pliers in here and push that down. I'm just pushing the crimp bead right down to the top and smush. Just flat crimp. So if any of you are struggling like with the magical crimping plier or the fold over crimps or those new snap crimps, which I ordered from the sister website to Bargain Beadbox Bargains, if any of you are struggling with any of that, this project is for you because this is so easy. And now I'm going to repeat this little bead station on either side of this centerpiece. So another crimp bead, and here I measure with my heart. But if you really wanted to measure, you totally could like take your ruler and measure from this bead to this bead. But I am going to place it here and crimp, and then maybe I will measure for the other side. I want the same distance here. So maybe I am gonna actually have to get out a ruler and measure. Let's do that. Exactly 1.5 inches apart. Let me lay it flat so I don't lose my spot. And I'm just gonna get this bead to 1.5 inches. And flat crimp those. Let me get my bent chain nose pliers. Okay. That's all the measuring I intend to do for today. And then I'm going to repeat that same exact thing. I'm going to take it's just in reverse. I'm going to take a triangle bead. I'm going to take a spacer bead and my nugget that I chose for the right side of my necklace, and just repeat. So I'm going to make these bead stations all three exactly alike. They're just different because of the organic shape of the nuggets. Okay, so my focal on my illusion necklace is done, and now I just want to get in some of the beautiful agate beads. So I'm going to do the same thing, and like I said, if you want to measure so that you're exactly 1.5 inches apart, you totally can, but I am just going to kind of guesstimate. Maybe I will measure. Okay, I said I was done measuring, but I'm not. I'm going to keep that 1.5 inches going. It doesn't have to be exact, because when you're wearing this, it's not going to be exact. But I'm going to go ahead and measure. I'm excited about this design, and like I was so thrilled. It was something that I really wanted to make, and when I opened the bargain bead box and saw that the beads were perfect for a design that I already had in my head, it just got me so happy. So like, I don't really want to measure, I just want to make. But it won't be too bad. I'm just adding a couple of these, not too many. I'm going to do the same thing on this side. Like I said, I've consolidated all my different sizes of my crimp beads, and so I have to sort through and get the same one. So I'm just going to do the same thing over on this side. Just get 1.5 inches and crimp. Okay, I was sitting here looking at this, trying to decide if I wanted to do yet another agate bead, and I actually think I do, but I'm going to work on the bottom part of the necklace first, just because it will give me a better idea really what I want to add to the top. So I'm gonna like pull out some more of my crimp beads that I'm using and kind of move down to the second part of this design. Okay, put these back in, and I'm going to try to make some space so that I can show you the idea. So as I started out to tell you, I have one little piece of this that is longer than the others, and what I'm going to do is thread this through the hole on my nugget bead and have it come out the other side, And here's where, like, this doesn't have to be even, really. I was thinking I might start out with it even, but it doesn't really have to be. And then I need to decide if I want to put another triangle bead here, or if I just want to put a little crimp bead or something to, do I want to put another triangle bead there? Let me put 2 on and see how it looks. I think the triangle beads make it too busy. I think I'm just going to do another flat crimp just right up here. Just push it right in there, as close to my nugget bead as I can get it, and flat crimp. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing on this side. So that's just going to keep this illusion little piece of wire from, you know, sliding out of the bead. Let me hold it up and see. The fun thing about the nuggets is they're all so oddly shaped that you really can't even get this wrong because nothing's too lined up. Okay, now that is so pretty. So now I'm going to get some smaller crimp beads. Like I said, I have consolidated them, so I'm just going to pick out some smaller ones, and I'm going to add some beads for weight to my downward rod. So, and here I really do want to be random. I really don't want to measure. So I'm just going to drop this bead like right about there and flat crimp. And I think I'll put a little triangle bead there. Okay, I'm going to do one on this side in a different position. I'm going to let this one be right about there. So I am going to continue like this, just deciding where I want to add in beads and just flat crimp where I want the bead to be floating and add in the bead. So on this one, I'm going to do one of these agate beads because they add a little bit of weight, and when this is on, I need gravity to be my friend and kind of pull these down. And so then I'll show you real quick what I'm going to do for the little ends here. I'm just going to make a loop. I'm going to put my seed bead, or not my seed bead, my crimp bead on, and make a loop and go back down through and just flat crimp here as well. And so then I have a connection point to put my jump ring and my final drops. Just get enough of a loop that, you know, a jump ring can fit in there, and just flat crimp, and then I can trim this away. And so that that little bit of weight kind of pulls this down, and I'm going to repeat just a random pattern on this side, and then I'm going to take my two shorter links here and do the same thing up here. But I think I will pause the camera and just go in front of the mirror, because I may want to only have this one coming down one side. I may change my final drops here depending on how this lays. It's going to lay right beneath my collarbone, and so, oh, see, I got it to go through, even through the crystal, but I don't think I want it to do that. I think I want it to just come through the electroplated bead. There it goes. And pull it to the middle. And so I am going to go stand in front of the mirror or maybe even put this on my mannequin so that I can see if I want to shorten these, like see how it's hanging. So I'm going to continue like that off camera, and I'll be back and show you what it looks like. Okay, I just wanted to check in and show you how this is looking, and I think you're gonna be able to get a better look when I'm all done and I put it on a mannequin, or I'll see what shows better how gorgeous this is. But I have just at random done that flat crimp, a bead flat crimp, leaving a lot of my cord showing in between like that, and when you pick it up, the beads are adding some weight to this. And I did decide, if you notice, I had started out thinking that I wanted to have the little cords coming out of all three of those bead stations, but it just didn't look right, and it looks great with all of them coming out of the larger quartz in the middle. And the holes are big enough to accommodate, like I have 4 strands of this going through this cord, this quartz, the one that's the body of the necklace, and then these that are hanging down. And I did decide to add in some of the little flowers. They're also going to be the drops here, and I'm just mixing the agate, the flowers, and the triangle crystals. And I'm on my last little fringy bit here. I don't know what to call it, but it's wonderful. And I did dump my seed beads out onto the mat because it's easier to pick them up like kind of like a seed bead. And this part of the design is just totally random. This part here is just, you know, wherever it lands. So, and I'm just kind of laying it like when I start to crimp the next one. I'm connected here somehow. What has happened? There we go. Just kind of laying it so that I'm trying not to line everything up. So I'm trying to pull this down to a spot where there isn't beads, or where there's a different bead maybe. So let's see, maybe on this strand, that would be right about there. I can come down, I can leave as much space as I want. I think I'm going to come right about there. And this bead, there's something wrong with this crimp bead. I don't want to use it. I just saw it has an issue. So I've just been doing this, and I just thought I would check in and show you, because now I'm at the point of looking at, do I want to add more up here? And I think I probably do want to add at least one more agate bead up there. And then we are going to I started making some drops. My drops, I've added in my little bit of extra here, and this necklace is so gorgeous. Oh my goodness. So on this side, I've just done those little drops. I'm using everything. I'm going to take one of the bell flowers for this side, one of the tulip flowers, and these little flower head pins are from Bead Box Bargains. That is the sister website to Bargain Bead Box, if you are not familiar with it. It's a wonderful website, and if you are a subscriber to the Bargain Bead Box, every month on the back of this little, let me show you, this little ingredient list, every month is a new code for that month for 30% off of your order. And so you can go to the sister website, Bead Box Bargains, and there you can get more of anything that you liked from the box. Like for me, I want more of these, more of these flowers. I would love to have some more of these electroplated nugget beads, but you can also find cool head pins and findings. So like I say, I don't know how anybody lives without Bargain Bead Box. I'm going to use my one-step looper. I just like this tool, and just put my head pin through there, and I'm just going to watch here to make sure that I'm not putting any stress on my little tulip flower, and just let it make that cut and get my simple loop in there. But if you don't like that tool, you can definitely do that with your pliers. I think everybody gets their own rhythm in jewelry making. So I'm just going to open this and figure out where I want the flower on this side. And I think on this side, I'm going to put it on my longest drop. I'm just doing these at random so that nothing is too lined up or contrived. And on these, I was able to just fit a jump ring through the hole, and you really just need a jump ring big enough that you won't chip your point on your teardrop. And I used my Softflex 20 gauge craft wire with the anti-tarnish coating, and that's what I use to make my own jump rings. And I make all random sizes and just keep them on hand. So I think this one is going to go here. I'm just placing these drops not in the same position as I did on this side of the, and I'm going to call it a pendant for lack of a better word, but just close it really well. And then this little kind of marguerite crystal is on its little jump ring. It's moving freely, and that's 20 gauge wire that I used, and it fits through that hole. And I'm just going to close that really well. And so I know this isn't a great camera angle, but this is stunning. And like the weight of the beads is making this just hang beautifully. And I am at the point of adding my clasp on. And I'm going to do the same thing, just using flat crimps. And this little toggle clasp is also something that I had from Bead Box Bargains. I think a year ago I ordered it, so I have not checked to see if these are still on the website, but it's similar to the silver, the platinum plated one that came in the box. They're just really high quality. I love these, and I'm just going to put this little toggle on the back of my necklace. If I can get my jump ring tool in there. I am going to put a crimp cover on. I'm just looking at my flat crimp, and I think it looks great in this illusion floating design, but I think I do want to cover up these flat crimps. So I'm just going to fit the crimp bead over my flat crimp. Close it gently. Don't be too aggressive when you're closing a crimp cover, because that's the best way to mangle it, and then it doesn't, add to the finish of your piece. These are a little bit small for that flat crimp, but it's okay. It's still going to give me a nice finished look. Yeah, I like that. That looks great. And I'm going to do the exact same thing on this side. My flat crimp bead, and make a loop and smash and crimp cover. This is an amazing necklace, you guys. I am so thrilled. I was so excited when I got this box. Like, just so excited. My clasp is on, and then I'll just, sorry, I bumped the camera. Let me just pull out of the camera really quickly and just lay this here so you can have a look. And as always, I'll put some pictures up at the end so you can have a really good look at this beauty. Don't forget to check my description box, because I do have a discount code for Bargain Bead Box. And if you use my link, it does help out the channel. It doesn't change prices for you or anything, but it does help my channel. And I thank you so much for watching today. I hope everybody's safe and well and having fun on your beading mats. See you in the next video.